A couple of days ago I published a video with a basic introduction to how SharePoint can be used to create custom interfaces for your material. I know that SharePoint is maybe something that many educators are not familiar with, but I wanted to show you how you could create a classroom portal which simplifies the interface for your students in a couple of clicks. So this is not complicated. It allows you complete freedom to present information however you want, and it allows you freedom to tie in parts of Teams inside this presentation page that you're going to do. So I'm going to do this now as a classroom portal, so it's going to contain some general information for my class, ideal as a starter page, especially for younger children. But this same concept could be used for example, an individual lesson where you want to put all of the resources that you want them to have, including forms for formative assessment, for example, all on a single page. So to get started with SharePoint, we're going to go to Office, and we're going to click on SharePoint. I'm going to select my team where I'm going to create the page. So in this case, my new class over here. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and select Pages, and I'm going to create a new page. So a new site page over here. Over here I'm going to give it a name, so this is going to be my class portal. I'm going to select a background image. So I'm just going to select any image that I like here, let's say from backgrounds. This looks quite nice, so let's take this one. Okay, let's put that one over there and leave that there. Now I'm going to add a new section. So over here I can click and I can select the layout that I want. And I'm going to start off by providing my students with an easy link to using or to accessing videos that I might have made for them. So for example, I'm going to create, first of all, a simple image over here with a Bitmoji. So I'm just going to take this image over here and add it there. So we're adding a little bit of fun to the web page as well. And over here I'm going to add now a stream tab, and I'm going to point it to not all of stream but to just a single channel. I'm going to go to stream. Over here I've already selected my channel for this class, so my new class. I'm going to go in and I'm going to say share, and I just copy the URL out. Now if any of this is confusing to you because you've never looked at stream or so on, if you want to know more about this, there's a lot of training material out there, including as part of the course for which this video is intended, which is available for free, and where you can go in and have a look at how stream and so on works. So here I have my stream video now with my playlist for different videos that I might have for my class. So I can sort this by, for example, latest. So let's say publish date, and like this I will always have the latest video up there. I can now add another section down here. Let's say I really like the layout of this, so I'm just going to duplicate this section here, and now I have another one. And instead of a stream tab over here now, I'm going to add something else. I'm going to add 3 buttons. One will be, let's say 2 buttons. One will be to access assignments, and one will be to access handouts in our Onenote class notebook. So I'm going to do a couple of things. First I'm going to click on this image over here, and I'm going to overlay some text over the image. And what I'm going to do is here I'm going to write access your videos here, like this. No, leaves absolutely nothing to the imagination. They know exactly they need to go there. And over here we'll do the same, and we'll say access your work and handouts here. Okay, and over here I'm going to insert something called the call to action button. So that creates a box like this, and here I'm going to say access homework here. I'm going to align this to the center. The button now is going to have a label of assignments, and the link is simply going to go to my assignments tab over here, and I'm going to copy out this URL over there. And I'm going to insert that now inside the OneNote page, inside the SharePoint page, like that. And maybe I will change the background image over here so that it looks a little bit more homework related. So I'm going to do a web search. I'm going to do homework. So let's do this one. So like this, they will have a single place to click on to get that. I'm going to add another button now. So I do that by hovering over this section here. I'm trying to keep them basically the same size, so I'm not going to add 3 buttons, just 2. And I'm going to add another one over here. And I'm going to say this is going to be a OneNote page. So I'm going to go to web search. I'm going to say OneNote. And let's say I'm going to take this here as the background for that tab. And the text is going to be access your handouts here. Again, going to align it to the center. And the button link is going to be now to the class notebook section, the resources area. Now to get the link for that, I actually have to use the Windows 10 app. I right click on the content library and do copy link to section group. And I take that to my SharePoint page and paste that in here. And now I have section there, and the button label goes on like that. So now I have again 2 nice buttons over there with the info. Now I can continue adding stuff that I think might be useful for my students. For example, if I have a bunch of links that I normally use, then this is an ideal place to add them. I can add another section, let's say as 1 column, and now I can insert, for example, a hero tab. So a hero tab allows you to visualize links in a variety of different formats. So maybe 5 tiles is a little bit much over here. Let's say 4 tiles. And let's say that what I want to do over here is I'm going to add here a Flipgrid link. So I'm going to take a Flipgrid link to my class. And I'm going to add that over here from a link. Flipgrid, open. And it's going to go ahead and load that page. Now, if I don't like the picture, maybe it's not descriptive enough, I can just click down here, edit details. I can say that the title here is our class Flipgrid, for example. I can select a different image, let's say another custom image over here. I'm going to go search, actually web search for Flipgrid. Going to find a nice icon that tells me exactly what that is. Actually, let me just take the main logo. Yeah, this one should be fine. Actually, I think this one is better. And we just insert it over there. So we get our Flipgrid icon over there. And I can do this now with pretty much every other link that I have on here. So if, for example, we use class dojo in our class, we could do this. Notice we can add any type of link, so it could also be a mail to link, for example. That would also work. If I don't get an image displayed, okay, it depends a bit on the size of the tab. Sometimes if I make the tiles a little bit bigger, it will actually load images for certain sites a bit better. But if I have a problem with the image not displaying, then I can say custom image, change, and I can just select, search for something that I want to add. Now, this is something that you wouldn't do every day. You would do this at the beginning of your year when you're setting up the class, right? Because this is going to be a portal for your class. So the kids can find what they need to access very easily. So we're just going to select those things. I don't think I actually clicked on that. Let me just try that again. Class Dojo. Take this one. Open. I might have to download the image first if it's not loading here. So let me select another link over here. I don't know, let's put HTTPS Wikipedia, for example. Wikipedia.com. There we see. So there's the image for that. And maybe one last link over here. Let's say we are going to Nearpod. So I have to put in an HTTPS over there. So I could put all of those things. Sometimes I can embed the sites as well, so that will work. Here it doesn't seem to have loaded the image for Wikipedia automatically, so I have to add that myself. So I'm going to go over here and do Wikipedia and simply insert that. And if I still don't get anything over here for Kahoot, or actually Nearpod, this one, I'm just going to add that over there. So web search, and I'm going to do Nearpod and insert the Nearpod icon so it's absolutely clear what this is. So as you can see, we have 4 different links nicely displayed on our class, and if we want to, we can also add Class Dojo, and we can add all of the titles for everything that we want to do. So I'm going to turn comments off down here because I don't really want to have the kids use this as a blog page. So this is just going to be the interface for them. And over here, we can continue adding more and more things. So it depends on really what you're looking for in your class. Some ideas just to get you thinking on what you could do here is, for example, here I could add another section with quick links. So quick links. And quick links would basically be a smaller version of this hero block where I can just add specific web links. So I could link to pages, I could link to external sites, and I can build up basically a resource library for them to click on. That's one option. Maybe another option that I can add down here is, let's say, 2 columns. I could insert a video that I want them to watch from YouTube. I could insert a Microsoft form directly on the page for them to submit. One other idea that I had while putting together this portal was actually this. I can display a group calendar which actually shows me the meetings that I have planned in my team. So directly from my calendar. So I have another class coming up here. But what's also possible is this. Maybe especially with young children, they're always, maybe they don't grasp exactly when the next meeting is going to be or when they are going to join. So we could insert for them a countdown clock, countdown timer, where we say that, okay, the meeting is tomorrow at 6 a.m. Okay, don't ask. Time zone problems, so that's not going to be very useful there. And I can add here now a call to action button, which is down there. And I can say click here to join. And I'm going to put the meeting link from here. So I can just copy out this meeting, copy link address down here. Over here, I'm going to put the link. I can add a background image as well so that they know that they need to, or what that is about. So let's say meeting. And we're going to add that over there. And we're going to say click the button to join the lesson. So, and here we're going to say our next lesson is in, and like this you keep them up to date basically on when the next lesson is. This could be useful maybe with younger children especially, so you can move this if you want to the very top of the page straight away. So this is the first thing that they see. So if I want to move a section around, I have an option here to just move it and drag it up and put it wherever I want it to be. And like this, we've created basically a very basic but functional classroom interface where the kids have immediate access to videos in our stream channel for them. So this will automatically update. Every time I upload a video, I don't have to edit the page. It will just be there. Here we'll have direct links to assignments and resource library. Again, nothing to upgrade. To update, this will happen automatically. Links to favorite websites. So again, if this is like the most important thing that I want them to have, I can put this at the top. Here is some idea how we can use specific widgets to create more advanced functionality, like replicating our group calendar. This could be useful maybe in situations where calendar is not accessible or not clear, so you can just literally put a button on there for them to join. There are many ways how to visualize this, by the way. I'm just using the ready-made blocks to not complicate the things. But I could easily, for example, do something like this. I could add, for example, one column. Let's say I want to have just a really big button for them to join the meeting. So one thing that I could do is I could go to Bitmoji. I could have a look inside my Bitmoji library. And let's say I say meeting. And let's say every time we have a meeting, I'm going to use this image. I'm going to save this image. And let's say meeting. And I'm going to use this now over here. Sorry, over here. As a single image for them to use to join the meeting. So I can get them used to the idea that when there's a meeting in progress, I'm going to show them this image and they can just click on it to join the meeting. Now, I could also use this, for example, to remind them of specific rules. And if I want them now to join me when there's this meeting, all I need to do is insert the meeting link over there. And now this becomes a clickable link for them to join, which I can put out there. Another option could be that I leave it like this and I simply change the background image, for example, over there now. Now that I have a nice image, I can put that there, and that might make it even more fun for them to see. So lots and lots of flexibility on how you can design your lessons or your timers or whatever. Over here you can also say you can adjust the opacity of the overlay. So if the image is a little bit too busy, you can always change the overlay color to a light color like this and fade it into the background so that the text in the foreground with the timer, for example, is a little bit clearer. Again, these are just very general ideas and concepts. You can do it however you want. My advice would be that you need to think about how often do you want to update the page. This part will require no updating whatsoever. Every time I schedule a meeting, it will just appear here. Whereas this one would need me to update the widget with the time. There might be ways to automate this. I'm not going to go into them now, but this is something that to keep in mind. If you're making this into your portal, you want it to be as hands-off as possible. You do it once, you publish it to your kids, they use it as their main navigation interface, and that's it. This stuff is cool, but requires a little bit more work to keep up to date. I'm going to save this now and publish it. And I am going to show you what this looks like when we add it to Teams and what it looks like to the student when they access the page. So I'm going to publish it now. So now that I've published the page by clicking on the Publish button, I'm going to go to Teams and I'm just going to add this now as a tab. And as you can see over here, I've already added this. Let me just take this out and add it again. So you can follow exactly the steps. So I just click on the plus over here and SharePoint, and I simply select now the page that I have. Apologies for any background noise, but we apparently just got the mother of all thunderstorms raging in the background, so live recording is what it is. So over here, we have now our page being displayed. Videos over here. Now this is very cool, by the way. If you click on one of these videos, it's going to play directly here on the page. They're not going to tab out or anything. They can still open it full screen, but it's displayed right here. So that's a great way to keep them where they need to be. If they are here and they click on assignments, it will actually open this tab for them. So they are still within Teams. It will simply take them to the right place. And over here, you have all of your links. Resource library over here, for example, will open in OneNote Web. For the teacher, it will be in the full class notebook. For the student, it will be just the individual student. Over here, we have all of our links. Over here we have our calendar, and over here we have our join button to access the meeting. Now let's have a look what this looks like from the student side. So just before we do that, I can move this over here. I cannot actually put it at the front, unfortunately. That would be a great feature if I can rearrange these tabs, but in the general channel at least I cannot. So the best I can do is put it after grades. In the individual channels down here, I would be able to do it somewhere over here after notes. So that is an option, or that is something to keep in mind, that I would still need to explain to them where this goes. Now that I've created the class portal, let's have a look at the student view. So student view, let's just refresh quickly to make sure we have the latest version. As you can see over here, class portal, so when they click on it, they get all of the information very nicely displayed over here. Again, if they click on something, it plays right there. Here they have their assignments, takes them right to the right tab. Over here they have the resource library. Now this could be actually quite an interesting use case, is to put a link in, for example, to a collaboration page where people in your class can upload, for example, pictures or images, which could be ideal for very young children. And that would go straight into OneNote, for example. Here we have the links to the individual sites. So if I click here, I go straight to my Flipgrid group. So that's ideal as well. Nearpod, Wikipedia, Class Dojo, our calendar. I can always sync this to check that we are still on the right thing. If I feel confident with this, I can just click on online lesson and join the meeting, for example. Or over here, I can just click on the meeting and it will take me straight to the meeting. So I hope that this was useful to give you some ideas on how you can think about what an interface could look like for your class. As you've seen, all of the components I've used here are just ready-made components within SharePoint. They're called web parts. There are actually a number of other web parts that are not available by default but can be downloaded for free, that add a number of other functionalities. I see a lot of teachers use sites where, for example, they want to visualize timers or icons or pictures and so on. All of that stuff can be done within SharePoint as well. It's up to you to see what kind of interface you would like to create for your class. But I hope this video was useful in giving you some ideas on what the possibilities are with SharePoint.